Hey guys, and welcome to a battle featuring the legendary Ice Power Total War and his forces of the Dark Elves up against Kroak and the Lizardmen Hordes, my favourite faction. We are here on Estilian Tomb and should be a pretty fun match overall, and as you can see, this is going to be one hell of a ridiculous Dark Elf build, and I am all for this. So up in the sky we do have double Feral Manticore in this nice little air force here. These guys punch like an absolute truck. They are a little bit squishy themselves, however, but going double Manticore in the skies is certainly very powerful. And they're going to be alongside Kroak Hellebron on her armoured Manticore, which as a model is just absolutely fantastic and very badass. Definitely head and shoulders above the basic Manticore model in my eyes. So Kroak Hellebron, not someone I'm known to see very often. She's pretty memey herself, but can do some decent work. Coming in with Gaze of Cain, as well as the Witch Brew, Heroic Killing Blow, and she does of course have the Cursed Blades, which is some pretty nice stuff, and she can turn herself and nearby troops into absolute shredding machines. So she certainly does have some application. She is just normally a little bit overshadowed by some of the other Lord options. We do have a Master as well on top of a Pegasus, given that nice Guardian bonus, plus has a bonus versus large, always good up against the Lizardmen. And we have a Sorceress of Dark Magic up in the skies coming in with Soul Stealer, so a really nice flying core for the most part. As far as the ground forces go, we do simply have two cheap and cheerful Dread Spears here just to take the charge and try to work as an anvil for this heavy cav force. We have the Knights of the Ebon Claw here, Regiment of Renowned Dread Knights, incredibly expensive unit, but can certainly chew their way through some of those Dino Boys if they do get the option. They're going to be coming in as well with decent stats all across the board. Of course, they have Murder's Prowess like all Dark Elves, and Bronze Shields. We do then have triple Cold One Knights as well, all chevroned up. These guys are anti-large. They do have a lose to the Lizardmen Cold One Knights a little bit, so I think the chevron may push these guys in the fight back into their favour. So overall, a super fun build. If we do have a quick look at Gwok's build as battle gets underway crazy quick here. We do have Skink cohorts mixed in with Saurus Warriors all along the front line. A nice mixture of troops to help kind of get round behind the enemy, shut down those ranged tools, as well as chew through Dread Spears and Bleak Swords with the Saurus Warriors, so big fan of that. On either flank, it looks like we do have some Cold One Knights as well, Cold One Riders, which can go very well and go toe-to-toe up against Knights, as previously explained. Up in the skies, we do have some Pterodon Riders with the Fire Leech Bowlers, which is pretty cool. Don't get to see these guys terribly often in battle. Unfortunately for them, they are kind of going to be shut down very quickly by an Air Force. And it looks like we have double Chameleon Skinks backing up a couple of Feral Garys, so the Fairy Bastildons can push through. Looks like he was certainly expecting more of a gunline Dark Elf build. For his lordship, we do of course have a Kroak Ancient, a fantastic looking model I wish we saw more often. He is very powerful. Coming in with Maya's Mouth to Spare, as well as Monstrous Strength, the Horn of Kygor, and Amulet of Itzel, one of the best items in the game, given that 66% damage resistance. And of course, in the back lines, we have Lord Kroak, coming in of course with his only spell, Deliverance of Itza, as well as the Supreme Shield of the Old Ones. Very unfortunately for him though, he doesn't really have too many elite infantry to drop those bombs on, but the upgraded ones can still do work against the Cold One Knights. So without further ado, let's hop in here. So over on the left-hand flank, it looks like some of the Knights of Ebon Claw got a little bit overzealous here, and are going to be outnumbered quite heavily by the Feral Bastildon, Skink Cohort, and Cold One Riders. So they are getting destroyed a little bit as a second unit of Saurus is pushed in to sacrifice themselves over here. However, it looks like the aerial force of the Dark Elves very quickly dispatched those Fire Leech Bowlers, and they're going to flood over here and drop all these glorious buffs. The Gaze of Cain has been popped, saving the Knights of Ebon Claw and destroying the Cold One Riders. So nice quick reflexes by Ice Power there to save that situation. In the centre pocket, we can see the first Deliverance of Itza coming down. Very nice play though by the Dark Elves. Cold One Knights are going to be falling back, and it looks like it was just the small blast, not doing any kind of crazy damage, but still 9 kills is still 9 kills. It looks like the medium blast is going to be going down on this other flank instead. Looks like the Dread Spears desperately tried to run out of the way, but still, jeez, they get absolutely pummeled by the mighty Lord Kroak there. Looks like that's going to break these guys incredibly quickly. However, on this left-hand side, it looks like the Cold One Riders were driven off, as well as the Feral Bastildon here. Not too much damage has been taken by the Air Force, and they're going to be using their added mobility to swoop over and hunt down these Cold One Riders, who have got a little bit overextended here. They were chasing down some Cold One Knights, but now they are heavily outnumbered by triple and starting to rout from the field very quickly. So early on it's looking pretty good for the Dark Elves. However, their Dread Spears have been forced back, and it looks like we've got some skinks running for the hills as well. And in comes the main big engagement. All the knights are charging in. We have the Air Force dropping down as well. Ferroman Squad has decided to run for the hills here. Midas Buckler Spare has been popped down. And we have a glorious Supreme Shield of the Old Ones coming down here, as well as the Horn of Kygor, turning these Saurus Warriors into absolute killing machines. And they're trying their best. A lovely Soul Stealer has gone down here, which is going to be catching, of course, all these units. But the Cold One Knights have taken an absolute pummeling here. Lord Kroak trying to stand strong, as well as this Kroak Ancient has just popped Amulet of Itzel to try and survive the kind of overwhelming slaughter of this Air Force here. Now, while this main fight is going on, you can see the Dark Elves are going to be dotting around, isolating troops where possible, and chasing down Chameleon Skinks, who are incredibly pesky, one of the best skirmishers in the game. So they actually surrounded the Sorcerer of Dark, and she has very low armor values overall, so if they can fend off these Cold War Knights and turn and blow dart into her, she'll be going down very, very quickly. Looks like some of the Ferroman Scores have been forced off. We'll be coming back to the field, however, and the cycle charging is always nice. Up in the skies, we do have the Pterodon Riders who have returned, and they'll be certainly getting some pretty good value throwing in here. Unfortunately for the Kroak Ancient, the Amulet of Itzel has worn off here, and he is getting surrounded and slaughtered at this point. Down he goes actually on the floor. He should be getting up again in just a second. He's just having a little bit of a rest here. But overall, the Air Core of the Dark Elf build and the Dark Elves in general are pretty bloodied at this point, despite the fact they are in the lead. Chameleon Skinks are darting shots up into the Crone herself as well. Simply 45 armor is not particularly fantastic, so if they can focus her down, perhaps they can get themselves back into this game. Skink Priest looks like it's going to go down, but not before he gets off a glorious Flock of Doom in the centre pocket. And they're certainly doing some good work, but unfortunately Kroak Ancient now is starting to rout. Cold-Blooded popped just a second too late. Despite the reassuring presence here of the Feral Bastiladon, it looks like the Kroak Ancient is going to run for the trees, which, I don't blame him. Looks like the Master is going to be going down in just a second. No, back up into the skies. It looks like armor losses may be setting in, so a little problem of overextending overall. We have some Saurus Warriors who were chasing Dread Spears the entire game, and also those Cold One Cav as well, who kind of got overextended, isolated, and picked apart, unfortunately. But that's going to be a very cool victory there for the Dark Elves. The Old Ones shall curse this day, but two really fun builds coming in. I'm very excited, or very happy to have seen the Ancient Kroak in action, but that Dark Elf build was certainly something special, so let's go do a tiny bit of analysis there. So well played to Ice Powers and Gwok, and a massive shout out to Ice Powers as well for letting me cast this on my channel. And coming in with a pretty crazy build all round. Crone Hellebron can actually be pretty okay. It's just compared to other, lords like Marathi, Malekith and the like, she's just not quite on the same level as them. However, we got to see a lot of her cool abilities, and aesthetically, she looks absolutely badass, has some really cool models and mounts and the like. So did pretty decent. I didn't even know she had a Man's Core mount. That's how, I have basically just never get to see her play. I've only ever really seen her on foot or on the Cauldron of Blood. But coming in with the Feral Manticores certainly made them pack a punch, and basically went for an assassination style build. Dread Spears got absolutely destroyed, but that was their job. And the Cold War Knights, as you can see, all chevroned up, at least one chevron, and this one getting two. So awesome build, really cool as well to see the Knights of Ebon Claw. As for Gwok, I actually really like his build. It's definitely more focused around coming up against a competitive Dark Elf build, and trying to kind of swarm, get into the back lines, push through with the Bastiladons and the like, and allow the Cold One Riders to go toe-to-toe with the Cold One Knights. So here's in fact the spear version of Cold One Riders who actually out-trade the Knights. So the basic ones probably would have lost anyway, but with the support of their homies, hopefully they would have been able to claw their way through the battle. Anyway guys, hope you did enjoy. If you did, feel free to like the video and subscribe. We are crazy close to 1,000 subs now. I think we're about 10 away whilst I'm recording this video. And we are going to have a 1,000 sub special stream, which is going to be pretty damn awesome. So lots of exciting stuff on the way. If you want to see your own replays up on the channel, get involved in the tournament scene and all that good stuff, feel free to join the Discord. There is a link in the description down below. And for those who are interested in Total War Troy, I've been very lovely gifted some early access by CA. So I got sent like a key from them, from one of the devs. And I've got some early access footage up on the channel as well, so feel free to go check that out if that is something you're interested in. But anyway guys, until next time, peace, and as always, stay awesome.